Hello. Just taking my glasses off because it's causing this glare. Um, I wanted to mention a specific point that some atheist activists make, which is completely wrong, and I have not seen it really explained, diagnosed in the way that I have been able to just so earlier tonight kind of be able, I had this intuition, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly how it is, and I just have to uh, share it. And so basically what I'm referring to is when some atheists say um, that it's on the onus of theists to explain why God explain why God is needed, and it's not the burden of atheists to explain why there is no God. And this is completely wrong. And what I will do very quickly, maybe this will just take like a few minutes, is number one, explain why this wrong intuition arises among some atheists. And once you know why it arises, it's a very quick step to understand why it's it's irrational in the way that they're using it. That it just cannot be used. So okay, why do they get this idea? Well, the reason why they get some atheists get this idea is because basically they are resorting to this idea, like in the back of their mind, that these phenomena that we see in our experience, um, like the rain coming down, this thunderstorm and rain coming down and stuff like that, that these are explained by naturalistic phenomenon, that they can be explained by naturalistic uh, uh, phenomena. And like in the past, thousands of years ago or many hundreds of years ago, people would many people who were polytheists, they would say, oh, um, Zeus is doing this or whatnot. Um, Even some monotheists who have like an anthropomorphic, view, that they may have done it too. So basically, a lot of atheists will say, look, this is a God as a gap argument. You can't use God as to fill in the gap of why we don't understand why this phenomena works. In the past, people used to use that, but today, we can explain this stuff through science. Okay, so so that's one thing. The God is using as a gap, and then um, what do you call it? They would posit, some of these atheists would posit and treat the existence of the universe itself, and the most underlying structure of the universe in the same vein as some small phenomena within the universe, and that is a complete you know uh, fallacy. Like I don't know if it's the, what do you call it, it's mistaking a part for the whole, uh, uh, fallacy. And so basically, um, it's also even more fundamentally, if you think about it, there are numerous instances where so many different phenomena have been explained through science. So then, like, let's say there's like this other phenomena, like this, I don't know, like, I can't think of anything because science has advanced so much in the last few hundred years that we've explained all the phenomena that we see, except like some quantum mechanical stuff and some stuff on vast cosmic scales and stuff like that. But let's say just hypothetically there was some sort of phenomena that we experience. So someone can, if someone says, "Oh, God, that's because of God," then someone could say, "Wait a minute, that the onus is on you to explain that, and not explain it first through a naturalistic way." Well, the reason why someone can potentially say that with certain like physical phenomena is because there are so many instances where physical phenomena have been explained naturalistically. Okay, but you cannot then apply that towards the universe as a whole or reality as a whole, because we don't have even one instance of a universe being created out of sheer nothing. It has to be sheer nothing. And only then can one say that, look, we have this instance of this universe being created totally out of nothing, out of not out of anything, just totally out of nothing. This universe X has been created, this universe Y has been created, universe Z has been created, these 1,000,000,000 instances we have. So this other instance, namely our universe, also can be explained by some naturalistic way, just like these are, let's say, explained by the same some naturalistic way, or um, even multiple naturalistic ways, but explained by naturalistic ways. Okay, if that was the case, then you could apply that to our universe. But you cannot, because there are no instances of even one, reality being explained by naturalistic way. Also, you just, how would that even be possible? Because it would be circular logic to explain, the all reality by something. You can't do that because all of reality is within reality, right? So you can't even do that, even based on principle. You cannot do that. But I'm just saying is that there is no one instance of that situation where this universe, like a universe has been created out of, it has to be totally out of nothing. Then and only then can you apply it to our universe. Okay, so and the reason why I'm saying it out of nothing is because, let's say it's not out of nothing, there's some quantum vacuum or whatever, and then the universe comes out. Well, then you still have to explain why that quantum vacuum, what explains that. You know what I mean? What explains that whole quantum vacuum field out of which this universe X, popped out. So, that's how, ultimately that's one of the reasons why theists, who are the majority of the people, the vast majority of people in the world, they say that there has to be a God, because we have to explain all of reality, and you could only explain it by a cause, who who is self-explained, is perfect, doesn't need anything, doesn't need consciousness, intelligence, you know that entity has it, so that entity is God. So anyways, so you see why and I will give it a name. I'll call it the fallacy of the um of I thought of it a while ago, but I'm forgetting. It's something like the fallacy of of burden of proof on theists. So FBPT. F as in fallacy, uh, B is burden, P is proof, T is on theists. So fallacy of the burden of proof on theists. So even whether, or you can just say evidence. So no, the theists don't have this special burden which absolves the atheists from. No, because there is no instance where it is explained naturalistically, so that the atheist can say, oh, we have all these instances, and therefore, this other instance, by inductive kind of reasoning, we can say that, de facto, we can assume that this other universe is also naturalistically, and you have to provide a evidence that is from God. No, that's not the case, because what we're talking about is not some phenomenon within the universe. We're talking about reality as a whole, universe as a whole, and not just actually the existence, but also the fundamental, like, intelligibility, certain attributes of the universe, such as the intelligibility of it, like how, why is it orderliness and not chaotic? Why is it intelligible? There's some certain other, like, attributes, and naturalistically, even like so many attributes do not have an explanation. So you cannot say, oh, naturalistically this happens, and you know it just so happens that whatever that exists has to be whatever intelligible, or something like that. Even that can't be. Even atheists cannot really point to that either. But even before that, you can't even point to, you can't even point to the existence of something as a as something that could be explained naturalistically. So then you can't do so with our universe. So I hope that is something that can enter the dialogue, a space between atheist activists and those who are trying to share, um, theism with our brothers and sisters, um, who have, who become skeptical, agnostic, who even identify as atheists. I hope that this is something that we can share with them. And again, I myself, I'm a Muslim, but I know that there's theists of different religions, and we all have to work together to share this wondrous creation, and how God is the cause of everything, and how we need to be conscious of God, have God awareness, be grateful to God for creating us all, and for the goodness that we have in us is, obviously that has been planted in us by God. So God is all good. And yeah, this uh, life has difficulties. Of course, it has to have. I mean, every test has difficulties. And if it was perfect, then there'd be no test for God. It would just evaporate, because then it'd be obvious that everything is, God is doing everything. So no, it just would be totally, it would just undermine any ability for the test. But anyways, that issue about, why is there difficulty or evil in the world or whatever, that's a totally different topic. But I'm just saying how, we need to share um, with our agnostic and atheist fellow humanity, about what the vast humanity believes in, in God Almighty. Okay, then I hope that what made sense, and tell me what you think. Okay, thank you. Peace.